there, we're back again for another Finish It Friday. Thanks for coming by. You're watching Lessons Learned. I'm Sherry, and I am going to talk about everything quilty today, everything that I've been doing, and some things that you all have finished as well. And if you look behind me, you're going to see some surprises, maybe. I followed my schedule this week, almost. I did not intend to finish my library quilt, but I got it all finished. It's not quilted yet, so it's not a finished quilt, but the top is done, and I'm very happy with it. And this was so much fun to make. It comes from Pat Sloan's Holiday Hoopla book. And if you're like me and don't celebrate holidays, no worries. Most of the patterns in here are not really holiday related. And that's where this one came from. It's called Love Your Library. And that's where I got the idea, was from Pat Sloan's YouTube channel that I watch every day. And she was having a kind of a sew-along with this one. She hasn't talked about it a whole lot lately. But I decided to jump in on that and do this one. And it was so much fun because you could add a little flair here and there with selvages and some fabric that had something that looked like a book label. There's some numbers and figures. And some of them I used, this one I used sideways. There's a word there. And then I have this little kitty cat material that I've had for years and years, and I kind of hoarded it up because I just was stingy with using it, and these little cats just fit perfect in these book spines. And then there's some down here that are sewing related, and yeah, it was just a lot of fun. Now I grouped mine in colors, like these green ones and these orange ones, blue, purple, kind of pink and gray. These are florals, red and black, pink and green, and then teal and green. That's just how I decided to do it. I don't know. And I just knew that I wanted to use this striped fabric because I don't have any other use for it, and this was perfect. And then this material was also something that I had been saving for years to use on something special, and it was just some quilting treasures, or I don't think it's called quilting treasures, keepsake treasures, I think it's what it's called, at Joann's. This was a Joann's fabric, and I think I've even got some fabric in here from Darlene Michaud. So that just shows you how old some of these are. She doesn't even sell fabric anymore. And it's been a long time since I bought any fabric from her too. So it's got a mixture of everything in there. And here's a selvage from Ruby Star Society, one from Free Spirit Tula Pink Curiouser and Curiouser. There's one from the American Muscle Cars here. It's just a lot of fun to look at. I like to making it, and I like looking at it. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that, but I'm just really happy with it. And I hope you make yourself one too, because it's a lot of fun. The Happy Days quilt. This is a quilt along that I'm doing through Stitchin' Heaven. And I have over here, if you look over here, I had that top block done already, but now I'm starting on my setting stars. I have 5 done, and I need 24. So I need 21 more. No, not 21, 19 more. So I've got it all set up in stacks over here, and all I have to do is just get busy and get these done. So I did work on that the day that I had designated for it, and most of it was cutting and half square triangles, and I did manage to squeak out a few setting stars. So what else? This is the Barn Star. I had this one done last week, And I had a day allotted to work on the barn star, and I did get this one done, but that is as far as I got on the barn star. And I've got some major points getting cut off. At least there will be on the edges. Something about these blocks right here, those are quarter square triangles. I don't know if I cut them wrong or what happened, but I've got some points cutting off right here, and they're like that almost all the way around. So I don't know. I'm just gonna go with it. I'm not gonna remake it. Now, if I get to the end and I'm just not satisfied with it, I'll remake that block. But this one did not do that as bad. They're close to being bad, but this one was really bad. I don't know what I did differently, but either way, we're continuing on with the barn stars, and I'll have some more of those done next week. I'll probably have a whole day working on a couple of those. So by my getting this done, this top done, I kind of skipped over what I was going to do on Saturday and finish the library quilt. So I still have to sandwich and quilt and bind the little yellow patchwork quilt that I talked about on Monday, and get my cleaning done as well. I haven't done that yet either. So that's all I have for right now, and that was plenty. I felt like I was kind of not getting much done, but then when I managed to get this completely done, I felt pretty good about the week. All right, so let's see what you all have finished this week. I have Carla makes these quillos, and a quillo is a quilt and a pillow. So it's like a quilt that you can roll up into a compact pillow and use it either way. And these are castle themed, and they're just adorable. Let me see if I can find them here. So the first picture is of it as a quillo, as a pillow. So there's a doll in there and some other things, and that would be a princess of the castle, right? And then there's the back of it before it's rolled up. That's the inside. And then here's the castle. You did some great quilting on that. The sky, you can see all the clouds there, and it's very, very highly embellished like a castle should be. Wow. Every little girl would want to have one of those. And then here is her second one. This one is castle themed as well. And that's the first picture where you see the castle. And then the bottom picture there is where you see it as a pillow. So it's kind of all folded and wrapped inside of itself. So it can be a pillow or a quilt. I've heard of quillos. I've never made one. But you did a great job on these. You're very artistic, Carla. And then Yvette. This is her So Yeah Over the Hedge Retreat themed quilt. This is the fabric line we used at the retreat. And I can't remember what it's called. Adelaide, I think it's called. The pattern is a free pattern from Robert Kaufman called Country Fields. Very quick and easy, she says. And we got some very nice dusty pinks and roses and blues and greens and teals in there. Made a very nice quilt. I still have not made my tote bag kit that I got out of that material. Turned out very nice. And then Yvette has another one that she finished as well. She said she took a class at her local quilt shop. It is Quick Trip Around the World from an Eleanor Burns book. And she's done it up in batiks there in shades of purple and green and a little bit of blue and white there. White, kind of a white background there through the center, but I think that's some of your very light blues. Beautiful. I love that. And she said this was easy too. And then we have one from Pat. She made this along with Pat Sloan and her purple crumb quilt. She finally quilted and hung it on the wall. This is her variation. And she's working on her library quilt now. So this is very pretty, scrappy. It looks complicated, the pattern, but it's probably not really. Love those scraps, Pat. Good job. And I like how you've got it hung up on that rod there with those hangers. That's a nice, efficient way to do it. And then, let's see, Doris sent me several things that she's gotten done recently. One is a quilt. This is a makeup bag for a friend's child, and she said she made two because the first one was not big enough. So I see one here. I don't know if you sent me a picture of the other one. I only have one picture of the bag, but I like that nice square zipper bag. Looks very useful for makeup and such. And then here's one that she did from Lori Holt's pattern book. It's the Great Granny Squared, and this is gorgeous. I love this, and I love the diamond border around the edges, and also the scrappiness of this is very, very well done and balanced out. Your scrappy can be organized. You don't have to just kind of wing it. You can kind of organize it into color combinations, and that looks like what she's done here, and it looks great. Beautiful. And then here's one for donation that she made, and it's also looks like maybe 5-inch squares or smaller. And Dolores always makes up quilts for children's charity organization, so this will be a well-loved quilt. So I think I managed to get through what I have this week. A little bit lighter week since I didn't have to do 2 weeks in one. So that was okay. We had plenty to talk about and plenty to see. And I wish all of you a lot of success in your sewing rooms this weekend and next week as we get some more things done for next week's Finish It Friday. And I guess that's it for today. And I look forward to talking to you on Monday for Monday Quilt Chat. Have a great weekend. Bye.